Why is the yellow bubble there? The yellow bubble is close to the literal belief, as close as possible, even if you see that it is not touching the line. It is on the believing side. That means someone in post-critical belief likes to come as close as possible to a literal encounter with the divine. As close as possible. You know, when you're in love, that sometimes your partner asks you, it can happen, do you really love me? Do you really love me? Now, what is interesting and important is that word really. Do you really love me? That means that if you love, or if you're loved, you desire that there is something real in it. That it refers to a reality. That is also what is expressed in the yellow bubble. You like to be so real as possible in relation with the divine. Imagine that they would invent a pill that would give you the same experience, the perfect same experience as the experience of the love you have of your partner. You could be absolutely sure it's the same experience. What would you prefer? The pill or your partner? I would say I would prefer my partner, yeah? So we really want that there is someone behind that love who really loves me. And it's not just an illusion created by a pill. Yeah? Of course, on the other hand, if my wife would ask me every day, do you really love me? Yeah, at some point that could undermine the relation. So if you're too much focused on the real, it can at a certain point destroy the love. The only way I can show, not prove, but show to her that I love her is through symbols. And by creating a symbolical environment where everything refers to our love for each other. And that's what a family does, that's what a marriage does, that's what children do. That's what you do as engagement for the world as a couple. So you need symbols to express what you can't prove. And that's the difference between the literal and the symbolical. The literal wants proofs that give certainty. If my wife would ask too much, do you really love me? I would think that she is anxious, unsure about the love, and she wants proofs for it. But in love, you can't give proofs. So you always will be in love, and the same is true for belief. You will always be in the symbolic quadrants. You will never have the ultimate proof of love. You will never have the ultimate proof that God exists. You will always need mediations, symbols, spaces of encounter to refer to the meditation, where you can experience partially, and trial and error sometimes, that encounter time and again. That's what's happened in post-critical belief. Of course, someone in external critique will say, well, love doesn't exist. External critique will deconstruct love and say, love is because your genes want you to connect with another, because your character fits with the character of your wife, because the social context demands you that you create a family, but you can reduce it to that. That's what external critique would do. Put themselves outside of love and criticizing the mechanisms of love. And finally, someone in relativism will say, well, you're married to that person, but that's just an accident. You could also have been married with someone else. Or you could have a homosexual relation, or you could have been not married at all. That's what relativism is doing. The four quadrants all have something possible. The literal belief refers us to what we call the referent, the ontological referent of love or of faith, of belief. The external critique refers us also to the fact that sometimes you need to be critical about things that are presented as love or as faith, but are not. Relativism makes us aware of the fact that there are many ways to express faith or love. And post-critical belief, I think, is the only way to authentically relate to the divine or to relate to the beloved partner. Through symbols, through strong symbols. If I read Bible stories with my children when they were younger, the first question they asked me was always, this really happened. Again, really happened. What is in the Bible? And then I had to say to them sometimes, no, it are symbols to express our relation with the divine. And then they say to me, oh, it are only symbols. Only symbols. So they put the yellow bubble from the left to the right. And then symbols becomes relativized. So the way we understand symbols is in a strong way. The symbol refers to something or someone that is symbolized. But the symbol and the symbolized do not collapse. That's literal belief. There's always also a tension, and every symbol reveals and hides things for us at the same time. In relativism, the connection between the symbol and the symbolized is destroyed.